So today, Mom and I went out for a karaoke night for the first time in a while. This karaoke night was at the Willow Inn, where, because there weren't that many people, over the course of roughly 5 hours, I sang 7 songs. And in between those songs, I worked on a new styrofoam drawing using primarily the black Sharpie marker out of a new pack of Sharpies, a classic pack that it was part of my Easter basket. Even though it's not yet Easter, the Sharpie markers were the only thing I asked for a day early because I have a tendency to prefer fresh markers over markers I already have. This is a pack of sushi that Mom got at Wegmans earlier today, right before she picked me up from Dad's place. She picked me up around 4:15 p.m. I woke up at 7:08 in the morning, found that Dad had already left for work. It was around 9 in the morning that I prepared myself some granola cereal with almond milk. Around 3 p.m. I had the chicken Dad prepared for me with some ketchup I put in myself. Along with the last of the coffee. I don't think I started having it until about noon. And Dad's coffee machine ended up making a double pot, so it ended up being a whole lot. I mostly spent my time at Dad's place listening to YouTube videos while switching between working on the 99th Dan Hamming episode by working on that new scene that introduces the trio, essentially I'm working on some movements for the Hispanic woman's pillow for her seat, that each member of the trio will have. So that the pillow moves as she stops and resumes resting her head on it. And I also added a line in which the Caucasian male of the trio notices the African American man of the trio I haven't given them names yet. Although I haven't really added in the scene yet where it pans to the African American male of the trio yet, because I haven't thought of exactly what I want to do for that scene yet. I'm thinking of maybe it showing him walking past a parked car with some people sleeping. There was a point in which I thought to put a box of sleep masks next to the camera when there was a brief scene that panned to that camera on the car floor. Before deciding that people living in a car would most likely have sleep masks in the side compartments that are on any inside door part below a window. I also did some work on the Happy Easter styrofoam drawing intended for Dad's parents on Easter, although I'm not going to be able to finish that in time for Easter. Although I'm not going to be going with Dad for Easter. I'll be going with Mom for Easter because I think around 11 in the morning or so, or noon, when I called my mom, she told me that her side of the family had changed their mind about doing something for Easter, about getting together for Easter, and they'll now be getting together for Easter. And I'll be going with her because I like doing things with my family in regards to both sides. It was initially planned that she would pick me up around 2 p.m. today, and then we would go to Wegmans, but then there was a show she wanted to watch, and then she decided to go to Wegmans first without me, so that's why she ended up picking me up at 4:15 p.m. After some good conversation, I got ready at Mom's place. And it was around 6 p.m. that we went off for the Willow Inn. While there, I sang a total of 7 songs. First, I sang Yellow by Coldplay. Then I sang Still Loving You by the Scorpions. Then I sang Wish You Were Here by Incubus. Then I sang Suddenly Seymour by Ashman Howard. That's the person who wrote it, but it's more recognizable if I say that it's a song from the movie Little Shop of Horrors. Then for the 5th song, I sang Soak Up the Sun by Sheryl Crow. Then I sang Purple Rain by Prince. And then for the last song, I sang Clocks by Coldplay, which is the other Coldplay song I tend to sing. Didn't I already collect from here? Within minutes of getting there at the Willow Inn, Mom and I went up to the bar and I simply requested something fruity, essentially, with vodka. When asked essentially what kind of alcohol I wanted with it. And then for food, I got a sandwich known as a Big Beefy, which is a roast beef sandwich with horseradish, and onion slices, and a slice of, I'm thinking, the closest I can think of is Swiss cheese without holes. It would be my best way of describing it. Yeah, I ordered that sandwich essentially because they had it. It's something they typically don't do, according to my mom. The staff at the Willow Inn. Later on, for my second drink, I got something called a fuzzy navel. Which in many ways looks like orange juice. It kind of tastes like orange juice if it had some alcohol mixed in, because in many ways that's what it is. My first alcoholic drink was something that looked pink. Though I didn't exactly ask the bartender what she put in. What kinds of fruit juice. I just asked for something fruity. Since the Willow Inn is in a place with a specialty cocktail menu. Between after getting the first drink and before getting the second drink, somebody was at the bar counter area, with a cardboard box of plastic bags of expired penis-shaped gummies, of which one such plastic bag was given to Mom and I. Apparently, they were primarily being given to that female bartender that prepared that first alcoholic drink I asked for, I essentially had a glass of water with ice. All the drinks, both alcoholic and water, were in plastic cups. Had a glass of water with ice with each alcoholic drink. Although the second drink came in before I finished the first one, because by that point it was almost finished. Toward the end, maybe around the time I was singing the sixth song, so Purple Rain by Prince, when Mom asked if I wanted to get any food, I went with her suggested idea of getting taco logs. I was initially thinking of getting an order of the pretzel sticks with queso. Though I had reservations about the queso, even though the queso that typically comes with an order of pretzel sticks has always been good. If for some reason it still put me off of getting an order of pretzel sticks. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that the queso always comes in a styrofoam cup with a plastic lid. Because then you have a dirty styrofoam cup that needs to be cleaned from the inside. Maybe that has something to do with it. When Mom and I got home, by the way, an order of a big beefy comes with a bag of chips, and a plastic cup full of pickle slices, along with me. Mom also got a big beefy sandwich. And when Mom and I got home from the Willow Inn, We both had one taco log each from a double order of taco logs packaged within a styrofoam container. These are the flowers that Mom got as a gift she's going to give to her mom, or at least her side of the family, for Easter in the morning. Also, during the karaoke night, the host did quite a few duets with my mom. And played a couple songs. In solidarity with Ukraine in face of their ongoing conflict with Russia. That was the first time I heard the new Pink Floyd single. That they've released in over 2 decades. They came back together just to create that Hey Hey Rise Up song. It was in a language I didn't understand, but it still had a good message. And to understand it, I just looked at the music video that played along with the audio of the song. And then the karaoke host played another solidarity song for Ukraine. This one was more focused on showing images of people in the conflict as part of a charity fundraiser event to raise money for those currently suffering directly as a result of the conflict, i.e., Ukrainian refugees. The last thing I want to say is that Mom and I's taco logs came with sauce that at least for me was mildly hot, a sort of mild salsa sauce that wasn't chunky. And with the styrofoam container of the double order of taco logs, we also put in one thing of either sour cream or queso. Mom felt it was sour cream. I felt it was more queso. There were two more containers, but Mom ended up throwing them away because we ate into them, essentially. So there was a risk of there being bacteria in those containers of dipping sauce. And with the chicken, I had a sort of smoothie Dad made that consisted of V8, celery, and olive oil. It was okay and didn't have as much concentrate as I thought it would when Dad described it as lumpy due to the blender not completely liquefying the full stalks of celery.